Hello, beautiful people. So, this is something I'm starting now. Like, I always wanted to do it, but I don't know why I didn't do it. So, I'm going to come every morning here and talk to you people and while I get ready, I'll answer your questions and I might pick up a topic that I want to discuss it with you while I still drink my coffee. And fourth thing I wanted to add, like I wanted to do it on my walking station so I could get my steps done too. But then I felt like, okay, maybe I could do like 3 things at the same time. This morning I was talking to a beautiful woman and she is choosing to work with me. And one thing that she said to me in the beginning that, something that she has been hearing, that it's all about her energy and how she shows up in her relationship. She's been married to her husband for a long time and she wants more deep connection with him. I would have to say yes. It's very humbling and I've been a little careful owning that to it, but I actually want to say it loudly that whatever your life looks like, it's the result of actions you have taken. And it's your own thing. If it looks beautiful, then also the credit goes to you. And if it doesn't look as you want it to look, it's also up to you. And I also believe that. And this thought, which nobody told me when I started my journey, but this thought, like, how always I talk about, like, when I was in my previous marriage, I used to think that there is something wrong with me. I'm thankful to that thought because that thought brought me to look into my life where I could have taken more responsibility and accountability for my actions. Yes, he was who he was, but I also have to tell you that I was not the person who I am today. I was a very angry person. I was very judgy. I was very critical of people, like not only him, but everybody around me. And that's how, I grew up, seeing my mom, and I'm not saying that anybody else is responsible. It was my own patterns. And yes, now I have this beautiful marriage and I teach this work. The biggest gift I've been given through this whole process of work I did on myself was that I have become a better person. And I have created all of this. So if I would have not taken responsibility of that, okay, if my love life doesn't look like the way I want it to look like, the way I want to feel it like, then it has a lot to do with me. There are real victims on this planet, and in those situations, they are victims. But every woman who is with a man who is healthy, who is not abusive, I feel that there is a responsibility lies with us. And saying that, it doesn't change because we understand that, okay, there is something that we need to change how we behave in the relationship or how we go out on dates, how we show up around men. Lost my train of thoughts. It'll come back to me. At the same time, it's not us. It's the behavior, how we behave. And that is our responsibility. And I'm going to tell you $1 million truth. You can be married to the best man on the planet, but if you do not work on your own patterns, you do not take responsibility for your own shit, you will be pathetic in that relationship. And I'm saying it very loud. Because I see that how my energy influences my whole relationship. And isn't that liberating? Because I have so much influence on my life. I have so much influence on my marriage. Isn't that powerful? For me, it feels very powerful, and I know it feels powerful for you too. Just thinking that I can actually create and I can change and I can lead the relationship wherever I want to take it. But not by doing what you're already doing, like nagging and pushing the man and trying to fix it and trying to tell them that how much you're better than them. We're not better than men. They're not better than us. We are equal. And they have their own way of thinking, their way of being. We have our own way of being. And I can tell you that men, you can learn a lot of things from men. And that's why in feminist words, which I do not believe, that word is run by men. Because they do not apologize. They do not think too much about things. They do not lose themselves in the relationship. Most men don't. Because they take responsibility. And this is what we can learn from men. Now, saying that, coming back to this beautiful lady, it's really important to not blame yourself, but take accountability. And that's what I want you to do. That don't say that, okay, did this and that and that and that. No, just look at yourself, okay. If, suppose, I'm going to say something here that recently happened. Generally, my husband does all the planning whenever we go on trip. This the first time ever in the history, I didn't want to stay where we were meant to stay. And I just said to my husband, is it okay if I just pick up a place and I just book it? And he said, yeah, why not? So I picked up that place, I paid for that place, and we went back and we went there. We had a great trip. It was a beautiful place. And when we were coming back, so my son stays with a beautiful family that is very close to me, and they have jeep if me and my husband needs to both go somewhere, even when we fly overseas for business or anything. So we pay them, and they're very kind, and I'm so thankful that I have them. Like, when I was single and I found them, it was like such a liberation thing. And so there was a significant amount we needed to pay, and I just asked my husband, would it be okay for him to help me here? And he said, oh yeah, Navi, I will. And he went to the ATM, and because we pay, we just pay them cash. And so he paid the whole thing. And I'm just like, my love, I just wanted a little bit, like not much. And he said, no, I'm happy to do that. So now I don't think that it's my husband's job to take care of my finances, but I love when he does. Okay, I am. Should I call myself self-made? Yes, I can call myself self-made. I have all the money on the planet I want. And at the same time, I felt I needed help. And I did not question that, okay, should I pull out my savings, anything? I just said it to him, and he said, oh yeah, why not? And many of you don't know, but I want to tell you that my son is from my previous marriage. My husband is not the biological dad of my son. But my husband has chosen to be a full-time dad, and he takes care of all the Jeep's expenses, always. I choose to pay for the babysitter, and this time I didn't want to pay. And yeah, that's not a problem. Because I still love to receive, though I will have all the money on the planet. I still love when my husband, create a space for my husband to show up, how he wants to show up in a marriage. And that is very important. Because when a man contributes in a relationship, in marriage, and it does not only, it's not just financial, it's emotional too. Because he knew that I always pay the babysitter, I love to pay the babysitter because I want my son to be well looked after. And when I pay, I can choose whoever I want. I choose pick up best people because I want to pay for that. And I love to take care of him. And it also gives him an opportunity to socialize. Now, my love, any man, I'm not talking about abusive men or unhealthy men or men who are sociopath. No, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about normal, everyday, average men. Most men thrive when you acknowledge what they do. And I feel that this is what we need to do. And this is how we need to show up for our men. That we acknowledge them. And it makes me sad that, yes, world has been tough on women. This era, especially where I live in Australia, it's hard for men. Why? Because men don't know where they stand. What is their role in the society? Like, they're really confused because women get upset when men offer to pay or men want to lead. Then men are called dominated. And it puts them like, honestly, I feel that when I'm not anymore, but when I met my husband and we started dating, he was so careful of things like, oh, I should not sneeze louder and this and that. I'm just like, what? Is that even a thing? I don't care. Like, if you sneeze louder, it's normal. It's human, And if you don't want to be like, don't want to be like my way, it's completely normal because you are a different human being. So, honey, it's really important that we acknowledge whatever a man does for you, you acknowledge that. Little things. My husband brings me coffee every morning and I love that. I love, like, every day, without a doubt, every day when he's home, most of the time he's home because he works from home a lot. And it's amazing because we can go on an afternoon coffee date or lunch date or something. And it feels good, even though he works in his own office. It's good to just have him around. And I'm very thankful. Like, even though I can buy all the coffees on the planet, I love that when he buys me a coffee. And I acknowledge that. I love it. So I couldn't get ready. Look, because I have not even put the stuff. But if you guys have any questions, I would love to answer. So if I have to wrap this up, it is acknowledge on the dates, in the relationship, in your marriage. Acknowledge men, what they bring to the table. Acknowledge that. And you will get more of that. The more you acknowledge, the more he will bring you. The more he will give. And this is a very simple, like, so easy to follow. Nothing, like, just acknowledge it. Just say that how happy he makes you when he gets your coffee, when he takes the trash out. Yes, now I know that your smart brain is going, oh, isn't that he's supposed to do that? Honey, nobody's supposed to do anything. Neither you. But it's great to acknowledge people, acknowledge their effort. All these ladies who attract low effort men, because you do not acknowledge what he brings, what he's already offering you. And I'm not saying in all these scenarios, like, I have had men taking me on the dates and offering me coffee on all the first date, second date, third date. That's really low effort. But if you want to be treated like a queen, you need to acknowledge more and you need to actually show up as a queen. And it doesn't mean that you have to wear all the diamonds and kohinoors. No, that queen is energy. You can be a queen in a Kmart dress. Yes, because it's all about how you show up. Okay, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Am I seeing any questions here? Okay, one question I want to answer because I get this question asked. Like, I get direct DMs on how I make my husband love me more. All the women wants this. Okay. Any relationship or dating or any romantic connection is stands on 3 pillars: attraction, connection, and commitment. And it doesn't really like, so the relationship starts from attraction, okay? Because a man likes you, or he finds you hot, or he finds you sexy, whatever the reason is. Yes, they are physical creature. Their attraction starts from there, and we have to agree to that, and we can capitalize on that. Yes, that's how it works. So let me have a sip of coffee. And while I do that, anybody who has a question, please put it in the comments. I would love to answer your question. And I will come back to this ACC, the formula I developed, like attraction, connection, and commitment. And it's not that you just become this Madonna to attract him, and you just put your heart on his heart to connect it to it, and you hold your hand and tighten it so he commits to it. No, it doesn't work like that. You actually, as a woman, do not work in the relationship. You become and you show up that there is attraction, and there is connection, and there is commitment. 3 things. And that makes you have a fairy tale. And that's what I do. That's what I teach women, how to do that, how to create attraction, connection, and commitment in dating, in relationship. If you're single, you're dating, and you want to meet an amazing soulmate and build a beautiful life and actually spend the whole life with this person and feel that you are growing every day. And it's a beautiful feeling, because I have that. I didn't know that I was going to have this, because when I met her, Jordan was like, Jordan is always Jordan, you know. He's beautiful, he's amazing, he's kind, he's generous. And that's why I kept on dating him, and I did not deselect him. I was happy to marry him when he asked. And now, like 5.5 years down the line, we are on very different path. Like, we are building this business. We have investment properties. When we met, we were like, I was a single parent on a childcare job. He's doing the same thing what he was doing. He works for a power company here. He's a telecom engineer. And when you are in the relationship, you discover a lot of things about, like, we are very different people. I hear back to front. Okay, I have ADHD. He has some sort of ADD. Like, we 3, like even my son, we all have something, and we process things in different way. And when we process things in different way, it's a process to even fall in love with that person. And for me, every difficult moment, every challenging moment where I feel challenged, especially because I'm very stubborn and he's very stubborn too, I want to always get things my way, okay? And sometimes we had to find that mutual ground. And I am like a force, okay? And he is like a pole which is standing, okay? And I'm just like, I'm a force and I'm coming at you. So, and he's a man, I'm a woman. We're very different people. So in those moments, I feel that every time we have this, like, you know, where we have a difference of opinion, we don't fight. No, there are no fights. We have difference of opinion, and we have some rules that how we can actually argue with each other. If he's talking, I'm listening. If I'm talking, he has to listen. And I don't like being interrupted. Yes. So, but all this happened because we have a very strong foundation of this relationship. That's why, to all single ladies, select well. Look, love is a skill set. Having a relationship is a skill set. And this is you. If you don't have, your mom didn't have it, and you need to learn it. Like how we learned to speak in front of camera, how we learned to exercise, how we learned to get out, like whatever, like how you earned that degree, how you, got that job. So even you became a teacher, so you had some sort of training. And that training helped you to have that skill set. So relationship are a skill set. And now, before I go, I didn't get ready. Look, my makeup is still, and it's 11 o'clock here, and my day is already, I have few to-do lists. I'm gonna get that done, but this interaction was very important. So you're gonna see me every morning. I can't say the time, but you will, if you follow me, then you will get a notification. And if you couldn't find the question here, you couldn't talk to me here, please DM me your question and I can answer that tomorrow. So what we are taking from today, acknowledgement, very important. With your dates, with your relationship, with your partners, everywhere, acknowledge what they do for you, okay? And love you. And I would love for you to like this video and share it, because I believe that my work is powerful. The women who have worked with me, who work with me, their life changes for forever. Their generation changes for forever. And you can play a role in that. You can like this video and share it, because I'm gonna put it there on my profile. Love you so much. Thank you for your time. And thank you for listening. I love you. No, I love you, but in a different way. I just love my husband. Okay, bye-bye.